What's up, YouTube? It's the Country CEO back again with another video, man. It's great to be here today with you. Welcome back to the channel. I got some more game for you today. Hope you're ready for it. Here it is. Let's get into it. 5 reasons why I downsized, right? I had one of the subs ask that question. Thought it was a fantastic question. And I thought I would put something together for you and give you my reasons why I downsized, right? All right, so before we get into it, just need to let you know, I think, what did I get up to? I got up to at one time having 4 triaxle dump trucks. I had a dump trailer, and I had a road truck that was pulling plastic for A&R transport, right? So at one time, I had basically 6 trucks running at one time. All right, and then so I got out of the road trucking and sold that truck. Then I got out of the dump trailer because my bread and butter that I started with was the triaxles, and that was pretty much taking care of my family, right? All right, so I got down to 3 trucks, ran 3 for pretty much most the part of my latter end in the last few years, right? But the last 2 years, I decided to downsize, right? And there was some reasons for that, right? And so I want to share with you those reasons, and perhaps they can help you as you get into your journey, on your journey right now, or just for good informational purposes, right? Right. All right. So let's get into it. So I had 3 trucks and basically begin to come down from there. And so I'm going to give you 5 reasons why that happened, from the least reason all the way to what was the number 1 reason, right? So number 5 on that list, and I'm going to be counting backwards, is that I just lost my passion and my drive for it, right? All right, number 5 reason, I lost my passion and my drive. As I got older, I just didn't, for some reason, have the passion and the drive that I once had as a younger man when I started at 27, being 45 then, when I started to downsize, 47 now. And so it just wasn't as passionate about it and have that same drive that I had. You know, when you're younger, you're passionate, you got drive, you're trying to build something, and so the excitement is there, you're easily motivated, right? And so a lot of other stuff going on, just life, family, other things happening with me. I begin to not be as passionate about it, right? And not have as much drive, right? So that's the number 5 reason. And you'll discover that in your journey, that's going to happen as well. But it's those times that you have to get your passion back and find something that motivates you to go a little longer or to continue to scale if that's what you want to do. All right. All right. Number 4. All right. The business began to compete with ministry. All right. I started business in the year 2000, got called into ministry in 2005. I started preaching, right? And then I actually started pastoring in 2012, right? So then those 2 things began to clash and compete. All right, and I'm feeling and knowing that God has called me to this work, I begin to want to put that work first, right? And so then ministry, being on a truck, began to compete with that. Okay, and this church that I was at needed a whole lot of attention to get it where it needs to be. So I felt a pull on me between continuing to grow the business or maintain it at that level. And also, here's this new, exciting new project that I got to build, which is to help try to build this church, build the body of Christ. All right. So ministry began to compete with the business. That's one of the reasons. That's the 4th reason why I ended up downsizing. Okay. All right. Then the 3rd reason is it just began to require a block of my time that I just wasn't willing to give anymore, right? When you got drivers and you got several trucks, then there's a lot of responsibility and accountability for that as it relates to what you got to do with your drivers, communicating with them, all right, and then maintenance and upkeep on these trucks and all that kind of stuff. That is going to require your time. If you're doing it the right way, it's going to require your time. So even though you might not work but a Monday to Friday work week, if you've been in trucking longer than a day, then you already know it's going to require some Saturdays for you to give some attention to that truck. It's going to require some Sundays for you to give attention to that truck. You're going to have drivers that got problems, and because they're your drivers, a lot of times their problems end up becoming your problem. Did you hear me? If you got drivers, their problems become your problems. And so that kind of factors in as well. All right. So it began to require a block of my time, just the whole aspect of maintaining three trucks. And, remember now, it was me basically doing most of the work. I didn't have an assistant or anybody. My wife was working her full-time job. So that's just how it was. And that's what happened. Okay. All right. So number two reason why I downsized in the dump trucks business is because it was at that time it was an influx of new truckers who were driving the price down. All right, it was an influx of new truckers who were driving the price down. Kid you not. Within a matter of about 2 or 3 years, we saw our region go from maybe having 80 trucks, 80 triaxles, independent owners, stuff like that, to it's like it instantly doubled overnight to like 200 plus truckers, man. And these guys, God bless them, I know they trying to get their businesses off the ground, and I can appreciate that. I've been there and done that. But what was happening also at the same time, you got some guys rather look like they were pulling some of these trucks out of the bushes, putting them together. Did you hear that? I did say what I just said. Some of these guys were pulling trucks out the bushes, putting them together, and then going out here and working for $10 and $15 per hour cheaper because they done put together some clunker, right? But what that does, that impacted the business as a whole. All right, that wasn't true in every case. I'm just telling you one example of an influx of new truckers, and because they were trying to make a quick buck or whatever reason, it drove the price down, right? And so when people that you work for stop calling you because this got a guy over here want to do it for $10 and $15 cheaper, okay. So that played a part in me downsizing. All right, and then number one, without further ado, the number one reason why I downsized from 3 trucks to 1, because 3 was my number. I was always told by an old man, keep an odd number truck, right? 1, 3, 5, whatever, was the fact that it began to be a lack of dependable drivers. All right. And what you would know about me is that I don't just hire anybody. Typically in my 20 years, I've never put an ad in the paper. I've never went on Craigslist. I pretty much hire a guy based upon somebody I know knowing the person, or I know the person, right? And I usually could just grab a person from right in my hometown or county that I would know, or that somebody would be able to say, oh yeah, man, he's a good guy. He's dependable. All right. And it just looked like I woke up one day and it wasn't those kind of guys available anymore. I began to encounter just look like back to back guys that, they're in a bind. I hire them. They need to work. They do good for 2 weeks. They get a couple of checks in their pocket. And then it's look for me, or, late on a Monday morning, or don't show up on a Monday morning. Or if you give him a check on a Thursday, he's gone, won't show up that Friday. I just really began to have all kind of issues. All right. Whether if it wasn't that, it was because guy handling my truck rough. I didn't play that. You driving my truck rough and dogging my truck, you gotta go. So I began to go through this pattern of hiring and firing over the course of a whole year or so. And I just say, you know what? I'm spinning my wheels, when you get dealing with these drivers like this. And so they weren't dependable, or either they were tearing my stuff up. All right, so now you're costing me money, so I got to make a decision. So the number one reason I downsized was because of that dependable drivers, and I should have actually added into that, or bad drivers, okay? All right, and so that was it. All right, and so that's the reason why I downsized. But I want to tell you that at the time of this video, and that you will actually see this video, I'm rejuvenated. I got my passion and my drive back. I got a cousin of mine that was with me back in the days that's ready to roll. So I'm thinking about going ahead and going to get another truck, right? getting back up, and I might scale back up to that 3. But I'm going to go ahead and thinking hard, praying on, see how God directs. He's opening up some doors already that I didn't know would open, and so I'm seeing the movement of the hand of God opening that door for me to perhaps scale up again, right? So I'm excited about that, and I'm very confident of my cousin. He's been with me before, that we can get along, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do, and I can depend on him, and more than anything, I can trust him. Okay? All right, look, if this video has been valuable to you, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this video with someone that you think this video can be helpful to, right? All right, look, no grind, no shine, country CEO. I'm out of here.